Oh my god, am I really gonna re-record everything just because the lighting is better now? Hello my friends of the internet. My name is Laura. Nice to meet you. Nice to have you back here. We're gonna talk about one of my favorite subjects, which is exploring, traveling, food, and what better place to do that than in my hometown city where I grew up. A quick heads up, this will start out as a vlog. I'm gonna share some of my favorite places throughout, so if you don't want to miss them, keep watching. But I will also talk more about my favorite food spots and things to do in the end of the video. So if you don't care about that stuff, you can just skip there. While Karen was here, obviously we didn't have a lot of time. We only had 3.5 days. That's why I didn't have too much time to film all the places, to show all the places. But the vlog portion is more like to give a feel, to show you around. But yeah, I'm gonna talk a lot in this video, so without any further ado, I would say let's get into the video. Hello. I look so different from the last time we saw each other. And I'm back at home, in my home where I grew up. I have this thing where professionals only tell me that they actually don't have a clue about what I want when they already started the process. And it was the same thing when I went to the hairdresser yesterday, and I wanted, like I told them from the beginning that I wanted bleached eyebrows, and she only told me that she doesn't know anything about bleaching eyebrows when she already put the bleach on my eyebrows, and now it's really yellow. Yeah, I don't know if you can see how yellow my eyebrows are. It's actually hilarious. And my problem right now is I don't know how my eyebrows usually lay. Also, I'm about to pick up my friend Karen, who's also visiting me here. So I'm about to go to the airport and pick her up, and she doesn't actually know what I look like. She only knows my very bad roots and like dark eyebrows. But honestly, I'm feeling this. No, this is unacceptable. Oh, fucking hell. Okay, I don't know if I will leave it like this. View. Yeah, anyways, should get going. Okay, I found a way to make it look less orange. I just used my mom's brown eyeliner and just like kind of colored in my eye with my red hairs. Karen's first time trying currywurst. It's good, right?
Really good. It's really crunchy on the outside as well.
That's how it's supposed to be.
It's really flavorful.
Yeah.
Well, I see why they're so obsessed with sausage now.
So good! Wow, danke schön. 7 Euro, richtig? Vielen Dank! My favorite ice cream place back at home.
This is crazy. This is my portion because I'm not used to it. I'm in shock how big this is. This is bigger than your face.
It is.
It tastes amazing as well. Love it.
I will let you try mine as well.
Yes.
Did you take the thing? Wow. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's right. It's so hot. It's dark.
It smells so good. It smells like Wi-Fi.
It's so funny. favorite view of all time. It's so gorgeous. Do you see that? Wow. I have to pee so badly, but I still have about like 30 minutes to walk back home. And it's gonna be fun. Pray for me. Thank you.
True. It started using this kind of alcohol and mixed it.
Wow. Put it.
I don't even know why I like it. No, but honestly.
Found the toilet.
Found the toilet. Just go inside, right at the Römer.
Exactly.
Finally visiting Aroma. Best falafel in this whole county. Oh, I just... Yummy, in the middle of Frankfurt.
So yeah.
Oh, how is it? It's very tough, no?
It's so dry.
I found a Nitra. So gorgeous. Oh my god. Okay.
Is that everything?
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Hungry, it's 9:30.
It's so, oh my god. Beautiful Frankfurt outside, wow.
that?
Oh, cheese pull.
It looks so good.
It's good, right?
So good.
Yum.
So flavorful.
Uh-huh.
Whoa, that's scary. Whoa.
Just imagine I didn't close my windows.
So scary, so fast.
You walk so well. So cute of you. I think this is my favorite.
Right?
Oh, I think. Literally, I didn't look at my coffee for 2 seconds.
And then the coffee.
Ew. And we have to walk up there. Fun.
We made it!
Woo! It's so far up. So hot.
Very worth it.
Very worth it though. Oh, you can see so far back all the way over there. Okay, also taking Karen to typical German restaurant.
Having this day.
Pork knuckle.
So yummy. Oh my
Yay.
God. So crispy.
I'm having my typical German sauce, but also always soak the fries in the sauce until they become soggy.
Groß und klein.
Kleine Teller.
Weizen aufgekocht.
Weizen, ja.
Okay. Okay, so now we've reached the portion of the video where I talk about my favorite spots all around. So for the spots in Bad Homburg, my favorite places, there's more cafes that I really like. So the first one is Luise 26. They have Korean baked goods, but also some other stuff. Their drinks are really good. Another local favorite is Café Eiding. They have typical German cakes and it's just kind of fancy. It's very tea house and it's also right next to the Schlosspark. There's also a very, very cute corn dog place. They also have other Korean food. Actually, I just went there with my friend and on the same day we came back twice because she loved it so much. I wasn't that hungry on that day because I had 3 ice creams off the stop I showed you before. But the owners are also super, super nice. So if you're in the mood for Korean food, I guess you can go there. And a place we actually go every year for Christmas brunch is Koflas. I'm not sure if it changed the name throughout, but that's also a very, very pretty cafe. And their almond croissants are so good. Like that's a very good place for either afternoon coffee. They also, I think actually they also have food, but we always go there for brunch or breakfast, so that's a very nice spot. There's also Miga Sushi for some really good sushi around the Europakreise, and also there's like the houses or the house complex it's in. It's just so nice. Oh my god. Especially like Bad Homburg in general is so good for if you like house watching, just walk around all of Bad Homburg. Also below the Kurpark, so many nice houses, so many nice mansions. That's what I always used to do when I lived back home. So just a little tip for you there. Also be sure while you're in Frankfurt and Bad Homburg to eat Döner or Dürüm. There's so many good ones. Anyways, but in Bad Homburg, I love the name so much. It's called Ützelbrützel. It's also right at the Luisenstraße, right at Westwashed. So if you're in the mood for a Döner instead of a currywurst, go there. Another one of my favorites in Bad Homburg is actually Mai Tai, but especially the Mai Tai at the Kurhaus. They have Thai and Viet food. Sometimes they mix up the orders, so if you take away, be sure to check and double check, or even in the restaurant. But my favorite is the Tom Kha Gai. Really, really good. Highly recommend as well. On my Marburg spots, I didn't mention, or I mean we didn't have the time or the appetite to go to, is highly recommend Auflauf. Marburg and especially the Oberstadt is the best place to get Auflauf. There's a place called Paprika and another place called Barfuß. Those are really good as well, but be sure to grab an Auflauf in Marburg because they're the spot for that. My favorite ice cream place there is called Aroma. It's right when you walk out of the central station. It's right there. The customer service is not the best. They're low-key rude sometimes, and they do close early, so be sure to like get there in time. But they have really good ice cream. And the cafes in Marburg have the cutest names, and actually like most of them are really good. But my personal favorites are either the Wertvoll or Großartig, which means precious and great. Like, isn't that so? It's so cute. Wertvoll is more for like snacks and like bagels. Großartig has amazing cakes, and their breakfast is also supposed to be really good. So if you're in the mood for brunch or breakfast, you can go there. So maybe a brunch breakfast at that place, then a bagel at Wertvoll, Auflauf for the evening, maybe for your itinerary if you want to spend a whole day there, and some ice cream in between. It's just like a bit, it doesn't make sense with the route, but it's a lot of walking anyways. For Großartig especially, their vegan cakes are so good. I don't know if I've tried any of the non-vegan cakes ever, but the vegan cakes, really good. Like seriously one of the best cakes I've ever had in my whole entire life. Highly recommend. Okay, now for my Frankfurt spots. First of all, I want to say Frankfurt is the most dangerous city in Germany for a reason. Same kind of goes for Bad Homburg. I know people who have been robbed on the streets when it was dark. So be careful of that. Especially as a woman, I do not recommend going alone, or as a woman. Even if you're in a group, it can be very scary. I wanted to share Karen the Skyline on a Monday night. So if it's not the weekend where there's a lot of people, I would not recommend going outside because there's a lot, like mainly men. The least of them look like they're in their right mind. Just keep that in mind. And also the best months, or like the best time for me to visit at least, is May. Like that's my favorite month to spend there, or October. Like these are Mays and Octobers, like back at home. It's just the best. It's the prettiest. It's when everything blooms or everything starts to turn orange kind of. So highly recommend going then. Also June and August can be really good. It really depends on the weather, but the weather is usually the mildest or the best in May or October from my experience. I would also generally say you can get everywhere by train. Some people hate going on a train. Almost everything I've mentioned here you can reach well by train. It might be a bit more expensive, and I don't know if foreigners are eligible for this, but there's the Deutschland ticket right now. That's like 50 bucks for a month, depending on how long you're gonna stay or where you want to go. Maybe that's something that makes sense for you. Other places apart from Bad Homburg and Marburg that are really nice places to go to during your Frankfurt stay might be Wiesbaden. That's a very, very pretty city. Just like Bad Homburg, it's kind of known for the people who have money. They live there, but it's like very bougie, very pretty, amazing food. Same goes for Mainz, but that's more like a city for students. It's not my favorite. I haven't been there too much, but many people love it. So maybe that's also a day trip that you can take depending on how long you stay or what you feel like. Personally, I think Frankfurt is not the best place for shopping, except for when you have some cash and you can go to the Goethestraße where like all the fancy high-end brands are. I do have to say we have a few vintage shops that are quite cool, like Vintage Revivals. It's in Sachsenhausen, so if you just walk over the bridge, it's right there. There's also an ice cream place right opposite the street that many people love, so maybe that's something for you. But I've actually found some really good jeans at Vintage Revivals, and they just have cute stuff, like always actually, so that's a good place to check out. What I didn't show, Karen and I also went into Aschenputtel Vintage. It's right down if you walk from Hauptwache to the Römer, or the back exit is right next to the Kleinmarkthalle, and they also have high-end brands to discounted vintage price. So if that's something you're looking for and if that's something you like, it's also a very good shop for you. Another thing you can keep your eyes peeled for is Kilo Vintage. They host these events all throughout Germany, I think. Basically, I think now you need a ticket, but you can go in there and you shop by the kilo, how much your clothes weigh. My friends say they don't usually find too much, but every time I go in there I find something, and I usually go in there for like dresses or shirts and like small camis because they cost the least. Always a good vibe. The people working there are also really nice. Also, all of the places I mentioned until now are perfect for having picnics. Bad Homburg, the Kurpark and the Jubiläumspark are amazing to have picnics right at the Lahn, the river. In Marburg, it's so pretty and just so relaxing, but be aware, especially in the summer, there's a lot of mosquitoes. And the EZB, I think, like all around the European Central Bank, is like one of my favorite places to have picnics with my friends. If the weather is nice, that's definitely a good spot to just relax and have good food. Onto the
the part where you probably hear is the food recommendations. So as you've seen, we went to a Korean place. I won't mention the name. We weren't too impressed with it, and the customer service was also not that good. So just by looking outside of the window, you can maybe tell what the place was. I recommend going to Pocha instead. Pocha like gives you the feeling of being in Korea. It can be a bit loud there, but it is like they have really authentic food, and there's also a lot of Koreans as well. We only sat to a group of white people at the other restaurant, so I guess that means something. Another place for Korean food is Sonamu, which is in Bornheim, which is also just in general a really good spot for food. Also the Bergerstraße, really good, especially Berger Street. Berger Street food if you're in the mood for fusion sushi. The vegan sushi platter. That is so good. I went there for my birthday last year. It is so good. It can be a bit pricey though. Same for Sonamu. I didn't think that thought until the end. Sonamu is also more inauthentic, I would say, but it's really good, but it is a bit pricier as well. Another place is Dianbing, or Dianbing Plus I think it's called. They have Dianbing. They also have other stuff. It's also said to be really authentic. My best friend says it's really authentic and delicious, and she's Chinese, so yes, highly recommend as well. It's also not too expensive. Speaking of not too expensive and very authentic, oh my god, Banh Mi King. I hope it's still there. Banh Mi King is literally the best banh mi I've ever had. I had the vegan tofu one. I think they also weren't too expensive as well, so highly recommend the place as well. They're like right below the Zeil. So if this is the Zeil, another place all of the Vietnamese people I know in Frankfurt kind of love, so I think it's authentic, is Maison de Ban. They have huge portions for like the typical price you would get food in Frankfurt. They're really authentic. They have a variety of food options, also a lot of vegan food options. I think they literally have a vegan menu, so this is a very good place as well. My friends who all grew up in Frankfurt, they love going to this one momo place. I think it's a a restaurant from Tibet. Their momos are really good and quite cheap as well, and that's around the Osternstraße. Oh my god, and right around there is Ong Tao. Ong Tao around Osternstraße, you can either take the S-Bahn there or you can walk down the Konstablerwache and eventually you get there. Ong Tao is a vegan restaurant which specializes in like Vietnamese food, and they have this soup, this noodle soup with mock meat and shrimp, and that's literally one of the best things I've ever had. Everything there is good. Like, I've not had anything that is not good. Some things might be a little dry, like the tofu block, but that's also like, I really highly recommend this place. Everybody I've recommended this to or went with, they loved it as well, even though it's vegan. So highly recommend this place. Also Xiangxiang, I think it's called, for malatang, and this can be really cheap and it can also be very expensive. I actually went there with my best uni friends, my uni besties, and we had the best time because I always roll around the floor laughing when I'm with them, and I love spending time with them. Anyways, we went there as well, and it can be like 7 euros, maybe even less if you want less food, or it can be like 23 euros depending on how much you put inside. So be careful of how much you put into your pot. You will see what it's like when you get in there, but it's calculated by weight. Similar to this, there's also a place called Xiaolongkan, I think. It's like a really good hot pot place right at the main entrance of, or like outside the main entrance of the main central station. Also be careful there. The Hauptbahnhof or main central station can literally look like Zombieland, if you know what I mean, especially in the summer. Like, if you go into the wrong streets, it's literally Zombieland. So just be careful walking around there and ignore the weird looking people and just walk straight to where you want to go. This shouldn't be too much of a problem because it's right at the main entrance. The atmosphere there is really good. You can go out there with a full stomach, with drinks, with everything, like 10 euros, so that's quite cheap, and it's really good food. Actually, they also have a lot of like other specialties which I really like because they're just really authentic, and the customer service is also really good. So highly recommend this place. Also, more Chinese food. Woohoo is Noodle Maker around Skyline Plaza. I love the area there. Skyline Plaza is just a headache and it's so confusing. I hate being in there. They only have very normal spots, but Noodle Maker is like right outside there. They have really authentic Chinese noodle dishes. Everyone I know who went there loves it. Same thing goes for Feinschmecker. They are in the B-Ebene of the Hauptwache, and they are also just like the cutest little shop with like Chinese specialty foods, quite cheap as well. Very delicious. If it's hot, it's perfect to just go down there because it's just always very cool down there, and they just have really good food. Kind of above that, in the, I think it's called Chiller Passage. It's like right where the Urban Outfitters is and like all of that stuff, is Savadi. I think it's my favorite Thai place in all over Frankfurt. I always get the, I don't know what it's called exactly. I think it's panang curry with like fried mushrooms, and I don't get it with rice, but with fried rice noodles. This with a side of broccoli, you don't even need that, but with a side of broccoli and some Thai tea, so good. If you if you're in the mood for Thai food, go there. It's a bit more pricey, but you get the whole experience. Like the interior is so nice, the people working there are so nice, the food is so good. I wanted to say nice, but like the food I can't put into words is so good. Also, ramen. Oh my god, the vegan tantanmen at Imori, so good. I sometimes dream about it. I can't put into words how much I love the ramen. I'm really excited because I'm finally gonna have real ramen really soon. Oh my god. I'm actually so scared of not liking ramen after coming back from Japan. But anyways, that's another story. They have like a few spots. There's also Jun Ramen. They also have a few locations, but the vegan ramen, I've only had their vegan ramen, but that's also really good. Like it's always full. Sometimes there's a line, so that has a lot to say about it. So that's also really, really good. I can highly recommend, what was that? I can also highly recommend two burger places, which is What's Beef and Handsome Glück. What's Beef has this like food porn kind of burgers and fries, and I think it's fresh, it tastes fresh, and they also have a lot of vegan options. They also have these like monstrosities of milkshakes with like brownies and donuts and like special editions. They also have, usually they have a vegan option as well. That was actually the first date of me and my uni besties. It holds a special place in my heart, but it's actually really good. And also for Handsome Glück, they have like this pound of fries offer, and you can also mix normal fries and sweet potato fries, and they have really, really good burgers. Like whole selection of like healthier options, not so healthy options, vegan, meat, vegetarian, really good as well. Like I've not tried anything that I didn't like. And you can also get different kinds of buns, like no bun, gluten-free I think, and like meerkorn and like brioche, like all this stuff. Very good. I will scooch a little closer to you because the lighting is nicer. Okay, now to one of my favorite things is the cafes. So the first thing is actually one of my favorites. Wow. It's called Fine Frankfurt, and Fine Frankfurt is on the outside. It looks little bit weird, but they have these like thick, delicious, juicy, no, okay, I don't know, but they have this like really good, thick, big slices of different assortments of cake. Also vegan options there. Really good. I tried their chai, and I think it's homemade, and it's really, really good. I highly recommend. It's like a place where you can sit outside. It's just a very cute atmosphere with like amazing cakes. They also, I've never been there, but they have this cafe now, I think, and it's called Momi. But also the friends that went there absolutely love it, and I've only heard good things about their brunch and breakfast as well. So maybe that's a good spot for that as well. Same thing goes for Mellow Yellow. I've actually been there for their cakes and their drinks, which are all really good, but the portion sizes for the drinks are quite small, so keep that in mind. And it's also a very popular place for breakfast and brunch. And also at the B-Ebene at the Hauptwache as well, like right before Feinschmecker, there's Kiki Lucky, which is my favorite bubble tea place in Frankfurt of all time. There's like new places opening up like every week, but this one stays my favorite because I like unconventional drinks, and they have like a lot of options, and I just think they taste the best, to be very honest. They also have plant-based options. The wait can be a little long if you go at the wrong time, and the service is a little bit on the slower side, but it is worth it. I think one of my favorite more unconventional drinks was the peach dragon fruit like coconut or something like that. Like really, really good though. So be sure to check it out. And oh my god, one of my favorite cafes actually in Frankfurt is Kyubang. It is Korean, and they have the best bingsu. Like everyone I've taken there or that I recommended this place to absolutely loved it. Like the bingsu there, all the bingsu options are absolutely amazing. They also have other stuff, but I literally went there before a final rehearsal for the K-pop Flex. We also went there for a birthday and had this like bingsu party to try the different flavors. Everything was amazing. And oh my god, the owners are the cutest people. They are so sweet. They are so nice. Go support them. Go support them. Actually, it's right down the Konstablerwache, so you can just walk down, and there's like a Japanese food store, which is Ichiba something, I don't remember. Then you keep walking down, then there's Ramen Jun. There's also Chinese noodle space that looks really good on this side of the street. Anyways, you keep walking down, then there's Handsome Glück. Go there. And then there's, you walk a little bit further down and then there's Cuban. And if you keep walking down after, you get to the Main, to the riverside, and it's really nice there. So maybe just a little route for you if you care about that. Frankfurt also has the option for food tours, which I went on one for Sachsenhausen. That was quite nice, but I do think maybe the best areas are the Hauptbahnhof, which is like, I think it's called Gutleutviertel. I think they might have the best food if you want to go for the food. If you want to see more of Frankfurt and want to learn more about Frankfurt, I think Sachsenhausen would be the better food tour. But highly recommend. I think it's like 20 to 40 per person, I don't remember, but it's a really nice thing to do. And you'll be stuffed afterwards, and you can also buy stuff while being on the tour. Another one I didn't write down, but like a typical German breakfast buffet is also, you can't really miss it. If you go outside of the Hauptwache, the station, there's something called Galeria Kaufhof. It's like this department. Oh my god, it's a department store. It's called Galeria Kaufhof, and if you go all the way up, there's actually a restaurant, and they offer this breakfast slash brunch deal, which is like, I think between 12 and 17 euros per person, and you have like a free drink, and they have like all the different assortments of bread and also some salads, fruit. It's really nice, and you have a beautiful view of amazing Hauptwache, and you also have a little view of the skyline, which I think is really nice. Also a nice place to take into consideration for breakfast. For breakfast in Frankfurt, there's also Sunny Side Up. I think it kind of lives up to the hype. It's very aesthetic, I would say. I love the plum French toast. It's one of the best French toasts I've ever had. The pancakes are very, very filling. They're kind of dense. They don't look like a big portion, but they are heavy. I went there twice with my friends, and I think we tried almost everything on the menu, and I have to say everything is quite good. Another spot for brunch or breakfast is Frau Nana. It's a vegan-vegetarian brunch spot, also right at the EZB. I love having brunch or breakfast dates with my friends. Sometimes we make it at home, but I do have to say that I think our collective favorite kind of was Frau Nana. It is quite expensive. I think we paid 22 per person, including drinks, and you will be stuffed for 3 days. You can eat so much there. They have so many different super delicious things, and just things you've never eaten before, so that's kind of like a more special spot, I would say. Also something, regardless of where you're staying in Germany, be sure to go to Zeitverbot if you're feeling in the mood for cinnamon buns. They have really good cinnamon buns, or we call it Stullen, the German way of making sandwiches. Actually, everything is good. It's called Zeitverbot for a reason, and in general, you can hardly go wrong with going to a bakery in Germany. My favorite personally for buns and bread are, for example, Moos or Hook. Honestly, every bakery has good stuff, to be very honest. Even the ones in like Lidl or all the supermarkets, you cannot go wrong with any baked goods, to be like, in my opinion, in my humble opinion of being a carb lover. Have I forgotten to mention anything? I hope not. Generally, I have to say Frankfurt, like, you can see everything in like 1 to 2 days, to be very honest, in my humble opinion. So day trips to places like Bad Homburg or Marburg is like perfect. There's also other places you can hike. There's very nice hiking places. Fuchstanz or like the Saarburg or Königstein is also really nice. But that's why I wanted to show like other places that I really like, and it's only half an hour to an hour away by car, or you can also take the train. Anyways, I have done so much talking. The video is probably super long. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this will help you on your little trip to Frankfurt or around Frankfurt, or maybe you want to visit now, or maybe you don't want to visit at all now. But let me know if you have any places, if you have any recommendations, if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer. Also, be sure to check out the description box. Maybe I will think of some other places that I didn't mention here and forgot. But yeah, I will see you very soon with some more travel vlogs. I'm very excited, actually. I can't wait to show you around my favorite places. There's also gonna be some more London videos because I'm here for like 2.5 more weeks. And until next time, stay happy, healthy, and hydrated, and I will see you very soon. Bye. Why am I so awkward? Goodbye.